Okay, hello. Welcome. We're doing Tamra. I'm not that excited. So, we're doing Tamra, Judge, Barney, Tammy. I don't know her other last name. But she was born September 2nd, 1967 in Glendale, California. I can't tell you what time. So we are doing houses, we aren't doing rising, blah, 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 blah. I respect Tamra for the show. But she's just a toughie. She's a toughie.
Because what I did.
Thank you. And I don't like you. Okay.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? No way!
All right, here we go. Miss Tamra Judge is a Virgo. Really extreme Virgo. So, do we think she's critical?
In Nordstrom's right after Gretchen, the same girl helped me, and she says, oh my God, you know, I just worked with Gretchen. She's so sweet. You're so sweet. Vicky's so sweet. And she said, but that Alexa's, oh my God, she's so rude to us. You're insecure if you're not performing.
God, I think everybody at this table has talked about your drinking problem.
I do. I'm not afraid to say it. Because she has her sun there. She has Venus there. She has Mercury there. She has Pluto there. And she has Uranus there. She has 5 planets, all in Virgo. And I mean, this is the distance between the sun and Mercury. It's far, but I still count it. It's still within 10 degrees for a conjunction. I count this as a big ass stellium.
What are you talking about?
So that means the way she relates to people, the way she is in relationships, works with her present all the time self, works with her way of communicating, works with her who gives a f*** planets, or more specifically, the planets that brings you your deepest, darkest issues to the surface, and the planet of like disruption and freedom are all working all the time. This is not a calm human. This is somebody who has everything firing at all points. So yeah, she is a lot. She's perfect for TV, but she is a lot.
Yes!
Yeah! She is extremely critical, and her drive for perfection is real. So that means not necessarily like, oh, I need to be this perfect human being. Clearly.
I'm gonna get Gretchen wasted. I think she already is. So no, we're gonna get her wasted, naked wasted.
Ryan, she needs a shot.
So the way I think she is seeking perfection, the Virgo perfection, is I think through health. I think she said many times she just doesn't like food.
So I ordered some soup and salad and some sashimi. Do you want anything else?
No,
Like a
that's
spicy tuna
perfect.
roll or something?
No, I'm actually good. Well,
Rice?
whatever.
Have you decided anything?
I have no appetite, thank you. I'm good.
Oh, well, stop eating.
But also that desire that came from being very in shape, committing herself to working at Cut Fitness. Eddie, you know, clearly the body health is very important to her.
And the winner is... Tamra Judge!
Religion is very important to her. She got baptized.
Okay, then upon your confession of faith, we can baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
And I guess she probably considered herself Christian before that anyway. I don't know.
Oh my God, you're going to hell.
You are gonna go to hell.
I've
you are
never
gonna go to
seen-
hell.
Go to hell. It's
Why would
all
she lie
about
about
moral
it?
character.
But that level of devotion is there as well. But I think more pertinent to the show and how she relates and how she communicates and how she disrupts and how she just is. Her view of perfection means she is going to call out when she thinks you're lying.
You know, Vicky,
you said you were
that's very
dating-
low, and that's
you
a
said you
lie. We don't believe that Gretchen is dating this guy. We think he's paying her to take care of him. And then after the fact, you're dating him and being seen with him. You are dating him, honey.
And you even oh my God, you liar!
She is going to say whatever she thinks her truth is. She is going to say whatever she thinks is right. It could be right for the show. It could be what she thinks is right in the world. It could be any of that. But there's nothing in her, even in these other parts that we haven't talked about yet, there's nothing in her that says, let's pause and reflect. This is not really a thing for her.
I said it on camera. It's no big secret.
Yeah, she's gonna call you out. She's gonna say you're doing anything even vaguely a little bit rubbing her the wrong way, she will say. And she will say that you were a terrible, horrible human being for that.
I'm
Such a
shaking my
bitch.
head like,
You're such a bitch. You really are.
You are psychotic, Jesus John.
So she is extremely, extremely Virgo. However, there are two other points in her chart that I think maybe speak even more to why she is a great housewife. So let's just look at the moon, the other big thing. The moon is in Leo, and it is conjunct her Jupiter. So with the moon in Leo, you can go kind of two ways. You can go into this more like shyer a little bit, you know, maybe wanting the spotlight but not really know how to get it. Or you go in the way of, yes, I'm here, hello, hi, see me, I am on camera, and I'm ready to be the star.
But what a lot of people didn't know is I was extremely shy and insecure.
So yes, it's a deep, deep desire for attention. It's a deep, deep desire to be loved. And Jupiter is only there to make that need more visible and grow. Her Jupiter is pushing her moon out there for the world to see. And it is her emotional life. A deeply personal thing for her to be on this stage and on this platform, and probably deeply meaningful for her to come back. I did not pay attention to her two T's in a pod. I don't know, I don't listen to it. But yes, she needs attention. She needs attention.
Hey guys. How's the pool? Freezing.
I'm the hottest housewife in Orange County.
And it works well with some other parts in her chart to have her be less afraid of doing what needs to be done in order to make that attention come to her.
The udon, this one. The udon is me. The noodle is big size.
So the other point that probably makes the Housewives a great place for her, again, ignore that this is appearing as her rising sign. We don't know that it's her rising sign. What we know is that her Mars and her Neptune are in Scorpio. So she is willing to get onto that battlefield, and she is willing to fight. Ideally, she's willing to fight for something deep and soulful and meaningful and, you know, do a lot of healing.
I divorced Ryan's dad. My mom and dad divorced. Divorce is horrible things to families. Every single day, it hurts. And the only thing that I can do to get through it is to try to help other people so they don't have to feel the same pain.
But we can also just fight for others' entertainment. And I think a lot of people would argue who watch the show that it is very healing to see other people fight.
It's a letter of cease and desist.
Go give it to my attorney.
No, here's your letter, bitch.
Touch me. I'll throw your skinny
Go
little
ahead.
ass in
Show
the
me.
pool.
Prove it.
Don't touch my daughter.
She is willing to put herself out there to fight. She does not have the issue being the one. She doesn't have the issue being the one. She does not have the issue being the one. And I think there's also a part of her with this Neptune there that really, I think, she believes one of the most compassionate things she could do is bring out this truth and light to this darkness.
No.
Vicky, have I ever let it be a secret that I didn't think it was great what he did to you?
She has said it before.
Like, with Vicky and Brooke, shall we say, I think part of her genuinely thought being completely honest and straightforward with what was going on was what was best for not just the show and herself, but probably Vicky as well. She probably thought that was just the most compassionate thing she can do. So I think there's definitely times she knows she's being a bitch, but I do think probably a core belief for her is that this is the right thing to do. And this combo in Scorpio, it's genuinely just fierce. It's a fierce combination, and it's a little scary. I'm scared of Tamra.
You be quiet now, because guess what? Everybody's always scared of you. I'm not scared of you.
This part of her works well. It's sextile, a lot of her Virgo-ness. So it works well with the part of her that's being critical. So she's willing to, say all those critiques out loud and really fight about them. But she's also extremely hardworking. That's not something to overlook. This is a very hardworking person. She went through a lot in her life.
I grew up in a pretty tough family.
When she got on the show, she said, yes, this is me. Hi, hello, here I am. And I will have job security.
You betrayed me. Shannon has a marriage that's fallen apart. She has shared with me some things that are going on in her marriage that are really bad. And I apologize.
Scorpio things are square her Leo things to a certain degree. I don't know if I would agree with Mars and her moon being square each other. But, since those two are working together, we can make some assumptions that they do affect each other to some degree. What we can say is the part of her that wants to be in the spotlight, and the part of her that really wants to go deep. There is some sort of conflict with that. But I think probably what more this is doing is I think it's cutting off the other parts of her Leo-ness, like the part that is very generous and the part that does want to share.
And I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight and okay, I'm about to cry. I don't only think of you as friends, I think of you as family. And I hope that you enjoy the meal.
Those parts of her are difficult to tap into because this other part of Leo is probably more noticeable and the part that she's more interested in cultivating. But I do think she formed genuine relationships on that show.
You're supposed to be my friend! My friend, my soulmate, my sister!
Certainly with Vicky, certainly with Shannon. It's not really an interesting fight going on about that right now, but I do think she was hurt by that relationship falling off.
You will never see my face again. Goodbye. You guys.
The last thing I want to look at is her Saturn in Aries. So a Saturn in Aries, we can say a lot of things. We can say, yes, she has parts of her that are very bold and aggressive. We can tie that to her North Node.
I was a bit of a spitfire. I was outspoken, and not anybody was going to tell me what I could and could not do.
But her Saturn is, or was retrograde when she was born. And I think there is a fear in her as well that comes from embracing, I think there's fear in embracing her authority. I think she definitely had issues with authority in her life.
So at a very young age, I went from my dad taking care of me to now my high school sweetheart taking care of me.
That we can somewhat see play out with her relationship with Simon, and it's maybe harder for her to step into more of a regal spot and take responsibility. I think she'd much rather be the little, you know, shit stirrer, not so much in the corner. I think she does want a shit stirrer in the center, but my image of that person is in the corner where they're just talking shit the whole time and just stirring things up, and she doesn't want to take responsibility for it. I think that's just a hard thing for her to do. And hopefully she's stepping more into that and being able to own that more. I think when she did divorce Simon, that was a step more towards her North Node, and getting into that space in her life. But yeah, I think this is an interesting point for her that maybe doesn't get explored as much on the show.
That's my opinion!
That be Tamra. Yeah, again, I loved her when she came on the show. She was such a different person. Because I did watch from the beginning, because I had no friends. But she really changed what the show was, and she was so interesting, such a bitch. And that part of me that loves the Housewives can't not acknowledge that. But I do think she is a horrible person. And that made this somewhat hard to look at. But thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, you know, if you want. And if you don't want, you still can actually. Yeah. Bye-bye.